Hey, I'm back. Okay, as you guys probably have suspected, I have been consumed with my Free Mind campaign. And I underestimated a bit the energy that it would take to do the outreach, do the social media, do the just all the back end logistics of funding and launching a campaign and what that looks like. So, I'm back. Thank you so much for still being here. And I want to talk about something that I've been battling with throughout this process of funding the campaign, which is learning new things about yourself or learning new things about yourself in a new way that you may not have been aware of previously, and how that affects how you see yourself and how you move forward. So let's dive in. So let me just start by saying that I actually did record a video to launch not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that. And I was having mic issues, and I went back and forth with should I post, should I not post? But I wanted to give you guys the full picture. And so I had already started documenting what I was learning about myself throughout this process. And a few things that are just at the top of my mind right now are: one, I'm impatient. I can be impatient. I sometimes am married to an idea of how I think things should go or could go. And I am also sometimes resistant to change, which is so crazy because, on the other hand, I can adapt well to situations and I embrace change. Or maybe I don't embrace change, but I know change is going to happen, so I adapt. I don't know if that's the same thing as embracing it. Embracing it means you want the change to come. Sometimes I don't want the change to come, but I know it's going to happen anyway, so I get my mind right to adapt. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I have the best relationship with it, right? So those are two things. I'm impatient. I don't necessarily embrace change. Also, I am a perfectionist. And we say these things, and I knew this, but when it's manifesting and unfolding in real life, it's a different feeling. So, being a perfectionist or having perfection ideas and obsessing over them feels like it's actually very, very, very mind consuming and emotionally consuming as well. Mentally and emotionally, it just consumes you. You have an idea, right? Say I have an idea of what I'm going to post, right? Say it's scheduled, but even when I'm scheduling the post, I'm going through the post and I'm second guessing everything. I'm like, oh, should I say it this way or should I say it that way? Or I have an idea and then I'll retract it because I'm like, oh, but what if they think X, Y, and Z, or what if they perceive it this way? So it's a constant battle. It's a constant tug of war of just being in your head of thinking, is this going to work? How is this going to be received? And I think I wasn't always like this with social media. I have always been in my head, but once social media got to the level that it did make the internal conversations of, I want this to be the best that it can be. It just amplified it. And the thing is that I'm not upset about it because I do believe in quality work, but consistently reminding myself that perfection doesn't exist and that you're going to put it out there and you're going to learn regardless is something that I have to consistently remind myself. I have to consistently remind myself and wake up and have positive affirmations. You can, you will. This is not the end. You are powerful. You are able. You are mighty. You can and you will. This is needed. Your work is valuable. You are worthy. All of these things I have to consistently pour into myself. And I'm just noticing how negative my thoughts are. I am noticing how negative my thoughts are. And that revelation was a tough pill to swallow. And maybe that's because, you're on this healing journey. And of course, it is a journey. So it's ever evolving. But sometimes you think that you had gotten past certain things or you had gotten better with certain elements of your healing. And I think it was a tough pill for me to swallow because I realized that maybe I'm not as far as I thought that I was on my healing journey. or maybe I stopped putting into practice the things that kept me in a certain place. And so it feels like I'm backpedaling because I'm having to reteach myself or re-implement those practices on a daily basis. And so that seems like it's a backpedal. But I think that ties into my thoughts centering around, okay, I have to be perfect because it's coming from me. You know, I'm a woman. I have a reputation to uphold. I'm a black woman. I'm a dark skinned black woman at that, you know. And so I'm just thinking of all of these things that people could potentially be judging or critiquing me on. And I need to work on my judgmental thoughts. I need to work on my negative thoughts, my negative thinking. I need to work on my patience, and I need to work on fully surrendering and releasing and not being married to a specific outcome. I'm being brutally honest with you guys because it really sometimes is a slap in the face, like, wait, why am I thinking like this, you know? And sometimes even so much so to the point where you are the person who can speak life into people, who can uplift people, who can use your words to put smiles on people's faces, to bring light into a room. So why am I not consistently practicing that within and for myself? These are the questions that I'm asking myself. And I'm asking myself these questions even more and even more in depth as I'm not only fundraising, but being honest about the projects that I'm working on and what those projects will take out of me as well, what they will require of me as well, not just orchestrating them, but actually being the artiste within them and sharing my truth and being vulnerable. So that's what I wanted to bring to you guys today. I started recording this literally 2 weeks ago. And again, I had mic issues, technical difficulties, also dealing with all of that I just shared with you in my head. And so now that it's out, I think that's a good basis. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you can relate. Again, Free Mind campaign is live. Please share it with everyone that you know. You do not have to be black, a woman, or a writer to contribute to it. This is a process. A rejection is a redirection. I'm going to get plenty of no's, and I'm accepting that. But I need to be honest with myself about the habits that I have daily, the things that I'm practicing daily, the things that I'm saying daily to myself. Being honest with the fact that I can be impatient, I can be married to a specific outcome, and I most definitely can be negative and judgmental and critical of myself. And I want to do more. I want to be more. I want to show myself more love and light throughout this process because I'm going to get to my destination regardless. But I would love to have looked back and say, yeah, and it was, you know, it was a road. It wasn't always easy, of course not, but I was able to coach myself through it. I was able to love myself through it and genuinely mean it. So I wish that for you, whatever season you're in. I wish gentleness and peace and love and light and the courage to just do the thing. Last thing, I performed spoken word this past weekend, and the theme was courage. So I think that ties into what I'm going to talk about next week, but just the ending of this too. Just have courage to be honest about what you are needing to improve on, what you want to be more vulnerable about and with in order to heal through those things and connect more deeply with the words that you say. Healing, transforming, growing, all of these things, mental health, anxiety, depression, all of these words are so trendy. And so, because they are trendy, they can lose their meaning along the way. But I encourage and challenge you to go back to the root, figure out where you want to improve, and just be mindful and cognizant of these things that happen incrementally where you can do better, where you can check yourself, where you can shift your thinking. Do that, and I think it's going to help you. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to continue to document. I told you guys I've been journaling every day. If I didn't, now I'm telling you. But yes, Free Mind campaign was teaching me so much about myself and how I need to truly free my mind. So again, we are all mirrors. I believe that this process is a mirror. Please contribute, please share. And I will also be sharing a video specifically breaking down what Free Mind campaign is, what it's doing, and how it's how and why it's so important. I have some participants who will be sharing that. So thank you so much again. I love you. Look out for that video. Please contribute to my campaign. Link in the bottom. Share, subscribe. I love you. Talk soon.